Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amecha Yisrael bechol leit ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam, ledorotam berit olam. Between me and the people of Israel, Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam, ledorotam berit olam.
Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz.
For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat seventh day, God ceased from work and was renewed. Eshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם, ברית עולם, לדורותם, ברית עולם. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו, ואימותינו לעולם ועד. מודים אנחנו לך, צור חיינו, מגן ישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. מודים אנחנו לך לעולם ועד. For the sun that rises in the east, for the seas that roar a prayer, for the stillness of a snowfall, for a breath of autumn air, for the grasp within my fingers, for a mind that makes me whole, for the voice that God has given me to speak the truth within my soul. Modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך לעולם ועד. ועל ניסך שבכל יום עמנו, שבכל יום עמנו. ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך, ערב ובוקר וצהריים. For the laughter of the children, for the way they greet the day, with their endless stream of questions, they remind us how to play. And for the ones we call beloved, who take away our fear, they tell us without saying it, remember I am here, remember I am here. Modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך, modim אנחנו לך לעולם ועד. צור חיינו, מגן ישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. מודים אנחנו לך לעולם ועד. אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, מי שברך אמותינו, שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah veRachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
הקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה ליאנו ואמרו, והמליכו ואמרו.
Shalom
So you want to take a book if you haven't taken one already.
Yes, please bring a book.
Grab books.
Low tech tonight.
Low tech.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu ani l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seitchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
To the third of you that are in the sanctuary already. We have a B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow morning, and they are putting up their leaf right now, one of their memorial plaques, and they're going to join us in a moment. And since they are lighting candles, and that's what we're going to do next, we're going to pause to let them come in. And I just want to repeat that those of you who come to Shabbat services the Friday after Yom Kippur have extra points in Olam Haba, the world to come. Also, we appreciate it very much. We're glad you're here. Also, you may know, we've been telling Cantor Joss he doesn't have to wear a suit every Friday night, and tonight he is without a tie, so we're very proud of him. It's a big step.
Yeah. Next week is Blue Jean Shabbat, right? No.
Yeah, but we can't call it that.
Okay.
What are we going to
We'll
call
work
it?
on the
We need
name.
to come up for a great name for the Shabbat service where we wear jeans.
We'll make a committee for that.
Yeah. Well, a task force. Because a committee has to be in the bylaws.
Right.
The task force, it's a short-term thing. Yeah, Levi Shabbat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at you, Nanette.
Good.
So swift. All right. That's in the running. We have to beat that one. Levite Shabbat. I like it. Okay. Because the whole Levi thing and anti-Semitism, that's the only tricky part right there. Okay, so while we're waiting for everybody else to join us, any positive takeaway from your Holy Day experience? And this is not a fishing for a compliment thing. We don't want the music was beautiful, which it was.
I mean, I'll
but
take it.
something that you learned or came away with that you didn't know or realize before. Anyone? Pat? The prostrating thing. So did you know that was a thing, or did you not know that was a thing? So the Aleinu, which we do at the end of each service, on the holy days, there's something called the Aleinu Hagadol, the great Aleinu, where the cantor, and sometimes the rabbi, in this case, one of the rabbis did, I was a little nervous about that whole thing, will do a full prostration. You know, just sort of like, like we bow in the regular Aleinu, but the prostration, that full prostration. So
The robes help, but we didn't have the robes.
right, but so Cantor said, do you want to do an Aleinu Hagadol? We thought, why not? Sure. Nanette.
I didn't realize how much Psalm 27 plays into it. That's what I mean, and a lot of people did with it. And of course, the Psalm class.
Psalm 27, yes, which is meant to be studied every single day leading up to the holy days. Okay, great. New things. I love new things that we come away with. Anything new that you came away with from the holy days this year that you weren't aware of before? Something you took away from it that was new for you? All right, we're welcoming in the Karaba clan. Everybody's here to celebrate Alexa and Caden. Come on in. We're getting ready to light candles. We can't do that without Mom and Dad. So as soon as Bonnie and Chris join us, we're going to invite all 4 of the Nashville Karaba folk to come light candles. Actually, Caden and Alexa will take you up here right now. That will signal to your parents to join us when they come in. All right. Come on up, guys. Perfect. All right. So as soon as we get Mom and Dad, we're going to light Shabbat candles.
Ya la 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 la
We're gonna lie until that
Ya
moment.
la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Bonnie and Chris, please report to the
La
bima.
la 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 la. Ya la 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 la
All right, we
la
are
la
3/4
la
of the way there.
Ya la 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 la.
We're gonna wait until Chris comes.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
No, we're waiting
La
for
la
Chris.
la 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 la. Ya la
Chris
la
Carrabba,
la
please report to the
la
bima.
la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la
This is
la
okay. We're gonna make him feel very
la
welcome when he comes in.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
One more time through the lies.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Search party for Chris?
All right, now we lost Mom, so we really have to wait here, but we're gonna get him back. Oh, here they come. I see it. One more lie, Cantor. One more
Okay.
lie.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav b'mitzvotav Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 la.
That was a lot of lies, but worth it. Worth the lie. All right, Carrabas, you can sit, but Kate and Alexa, you're going to stay up here on the bima. Mom and Dad, you're going to join the rest of your family. All right, so raise your hand if you're here because of these two really good-looking folks on the bima. And I didn't mean these two, I meant these two. All right, great. Well, welcome to Congregation Micah. We are so glad that you're here. And Shabbat Shalom to everyone. We are going old school, low tech tonight with our prayer books and not our screens. And we are going to continue singing together the words of Lakado D. You can find them on page 20.
Lecha dodi likrat kalai yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kalai yalalai 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmiyanu el hameyuchad Adonai echad ushmo echad L'shem tiferet v'lichila Lecha dodi ligrat kalai yalalai 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 L'shabbat nekabelai Lecha dodi likrat kalai yalalai 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 L'shabbat nekabelai. Verse 5 Hitoreri hitoreri Kiva orechu mi ori Uri uri shir daberi כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
Rise and face the doors of the sanctuary.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. ילך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
We'll stay standing as Kaden and Alexa join us to lead us in the words of Hatzi Kaddish. We are on page
26.
Yekadal v'yekadash merava.
Amen.
V'yama dibra hirute, v'yamlik mahute, v'chayachon, u'v'yamachon, u'v'hayedecho b'Yisrael, v'gala u'bizman, kariv, v'yimeru amen, yehesh merava mevorah, le'olam u'lam ve'amaya, yitbarach.
Yitrach v'yichor, ve'emuv v'yasna say v'chadar v'chalev v'chalav shemei dekudesha.
Rivu.
Le'elam min kol v'harta v'shirata
Tushbehata v'nechemata tamiram be'alma.
v'imiru.
Amen. We'll remain standing for Baruch, which is on page 28. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Baruchu et Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
I invite you to please be seated. Let me attend to my words, taking care to say what I mean and do what I say. Let me guard my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking falsehood. Let me rise above those who slander me and take care not to slander others. Let me forgive those who offend against me, and take care to offend only the unjust. Let me open my heart to Torah and find in her wisdom my way to righteousness. Ahavat Olam, page 30. Excuse me, page 32.
32. Ahavat olam beYisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu Uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu Be'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla Nege yomam v'layla Ve'ahavatcha al tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Caden and Alexa will continue leading us in the words of Ve'ahavta. We're on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'ho levaha u'v'ho nafshaha u'v'ho meodecha V'chayu hadivarim ha'ele Asher Elohim mitzavacha Hayom al levanecha Vishinantam levanecha V'dibarta levanam V'shivteha arvetecha V'shivteha v'derech U'shoftecha uvkumecha U'kshartam leot al yadecha V'hayu letom tavot bein einecha Uftatam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha V'man tiskeru v'ansitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elechem Asher otzeyeti ethem Eretz Mitzrayim Leot lechem l'Elohim Ani Adonai Elechem
Adonai Elohechem emet.
I take the time to make this day a Sabbath. I set aside the labors that define me and uncover the me that cannot be defined. I find in the mitzvot of Shabbat friends and counselors urging me to wholeness. May these hours of rest and renewal open my heart to joy and my mind to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace on this day. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose on this day. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may I live my life in such a way that this day may fulfill its promise. We continue together with the words of Micho Mocha. We are on page 40.
Lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai la lai la lai 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 la lai la lai la lai 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 la lai la lai Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osei fele Nora tehilot osei fele מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאי לי 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 יאי לי 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 יאי לי 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 יאי לי 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 יאי לי 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 ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So it's our custom here at Congregation Micah on Friday nights, and we didn't do this during the holidays because there would be too many people here and we'd be doing that all night long. But we like to celebrate with each other the good things that have been happening in our week, moments that are worth sharing. Maybe it's an anniversary or a birthday or B'nai Mitzvah, which we're of course celebrating. It could be something small, it could be something big, but we like to celebrate and share in that joy with you. Plus, someone didn't have such a good week, it's nice to be able to share in the joys of others, get a little bit of a lift. So, does somebody have something they'd like to share with us so that we can celebrate with you? Yeah, Brad.
Got a job.
Nice. Wow.
Waiting tables.
Okay.
At college.
Yeah, I mean, she's just, a freshman at Stanford, so I'm sure that'll be fine. She'll have an easy workload and wait tables. She's amazing.
It's in a restaurant she's really excited about.
Okay, I'm so happy for her. So far, adjusting well?
So far, yes.
Okay.
She thinks she should have 10 perfect, great, good friends right now, but other than that, she's fine.
I understand. Yeah. I've got a freshman also. I'm with you. Okay, great. Glad to hear it. Other good, yes?
We have all the cousins together.
Oh, raise your hand if you're a cousin. Raise your hand if you're a cousin. All right. I love it. My niece is having her bat mitzvah at the end of the month, and I love when I'm one of the cousins, when we all get to be together too. It's super fun. So I hope you guys have a really good, say again? And it's an Alexa too. I know. She's as awesome as you are. That's very exciting. Well, you guys are going to have a great weekend. I know it. Yeah. Other things to celebrate. Yeah.
I'm visiting from LA, and this is my first time to Nashville.
Oh, welcome. And you're friends with the Goldbergs. Good people to be friends with. Welcome from LA. I'm from Los Angeles too, and now I live here. That might happen to you also.
You never know.
It's really easy for that. It happened to these guys. Yeah. Happened to me. So anybody else here from LA originally and now lives here? Oh, you're from LA, but you don't live here.
No.
You're just from LA.
Not yet.
Okay, well, so we like to say you don't live here yet, but you might. We have realtors for you if you need that. Other good things, welcome. Other good things to celebrate? Anyone?
Made it through my first high holidays at Congregation Micah. That's a pretty big deal.
That was great.
Yeah. If you don't count Simchat Torah and Sukkot, but.
Yeah, and I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being great, it was a 10.
Okay.
You were awesome.
I'll take it.
And I think it was an 11 too. Yep, we're getting a lot of
Very generous.
confirmation on that. All right. Okay, well, we're going to continue with all this goodness, and we're going to join together in the words of Vishamru. They can be found on page 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. A word from our Pirkei Avot, the words of our fathers, of our sages, on silence before we enter our Amidah and silent prayer. Shimon ben Gamliel said, I grew up among the sages. All my life I listened to their words, yet I have found nothing better than silence. Study is not the goal, doing is. Do not mistake talk for action. Pity fills no stomach, compassion builds no house, understanding is not yet justice. Whoever multiplies words causes confusion. The truth that can be spoken is not the ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is wordless, the silence within the silence. More than the absence of speech, more than the absence of words, ultimate truth is the seamless being in place that comes with attending to reality. Let us all rise as we attend to reality tonight.
We're on page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Please be seated.
Shalom
Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך, בשלומך. שלום רב, שלום רב, שלום רב על ישראל עמך. שלום רב, שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב, שלום רב.
Thank you, Cantor. We think of those in our community who are in need of healing on the Shabbat. I mentioned the following names from our community, and then I'll invite you to share names of those you are thinking of. We think of Steve Goldberg, Roberta Blatt, John Mitchell, Craig Smith, Deborah Scott, Penny Enton, Joyce Monk, Victoria Cohen, Hope Stringer, Yvonne Fox, Wayne Ritt, Dick Eskind, Marta Erert, and Rusty King. Please share the names of those you are thinking of as well. On page 253 for the words of Debbie Friedman's Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBaracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBaracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
So, it's been a while now since I've been a true city dweller. Even when we lived in Seattle before we moved to Nashville, we didn't really live downtown. We were considered urban suburban. Before that, we lived in New York City. Then we were for sure city dwellers. And as such, we became experts at self-defense, as all city dwellers come to be. It's as if we were created with special antennae. We sense when someone is walking too close behind us. We speed up a little bit. We see a shady character in our peripheral vision, and we cross the street. We avoid eye contact. We screen phone calls. We try not to talk to strangers. We keep ourselves and our loved ones locked in an invisible, hermetic bubble, safe from intruders who may do us harm. The truth is, I think suburb dwellers have their own strategies for defense. Security systems, invisible fences, gated communities. I actually live in a gated community in Williamson County. And we generally find the gate rather annoying, but we've come to appreciate a false sense of security. We didn't always lock our doors or set an alarm. And last week, that changed. Because last week, and it may sound silly, but I realized that some of my shoes were missing from the garage. That's where I keep my running shoes. And then we learned from neighbors that their cars, which had been parked in their driveways, had been burglarized. Turns out there had been thefts all over the neighborhood. iPads, a backpack, a computer stolen. And if you know me, I would gladly give you my computer, but do not touch my running shoes. The crime in my sleepy neighborhood is, of course, unfortunate, but we don't even need something like that to take place for fear to pulse through our veins. It's no wonder that we live in fear. We're bombarded with images of death and destruction all the time, right? We're fairly familiar with the media's love affair with what is violent. In practically every TV show, newscast, on the front page of every newspaper, we learn about the latest murder, the sickest hate crime, the most tragic mass shooting. We hear the message loud and clear. Danger lurks around every single corner. Keep away from strangers at all costs. Today's stranger may be tomorrow's headline murderer. Now, these fears are warranted. We have every right to want to protect our families and ourselves from danger. We never want to look back on a moment when a loved one was threatened and think, what if I'd been more cautious? But the damage that we endure from our culture of violence is far more pernicious than just physical danger. Because I think we're teaching the next generation, our kids, to abhor strangers and only to embrace people who are familiar. When we're suspicious of anyone who is unknown to us, we shouldn't be concerned just for our physical welfare because our souls are endangered as well. Here's what I mean. A rabbi I admire very much, I quote him often, Rabbi Ed Feinstein, talks about his love of Halloween. He lives with his family in Los Angeles, and we know LA's had its fair share of riots, carjackings, all kinds of gang violence. And when his kids were young, every year he would take them trick-or-treating on Halloween. And every year, members of his congregation, which is a conservative synagogue, would be annoyed. How can their rabbi participate in a holiday that has Christian and pagan origins? But he would defend his actions in this way. He said, something remarkable happens on Halloween, and I want my kids to see it. On Halloween, we open our homes to each other. On Halloween, we come out from behind solid core doors and deadbolt locks and electronic burglar alarms. The doorbell is met not with a gruff, who's there, and a suspicious eye in the peephole, but with a smile and candy. And he said, I want my kids to see what it's like when fear subsides and people trust each other enough to open doors. And the good news is, as Rabbi Feinstein knows, Halloween is not our only opportunity to open our doors to one another. Because this Shabbat, or I should say just after Shabbat, right after we finish closing the gates of repentance at the end of Yom Kippur, we open the doors, the proverbial doors of our sukkah. And our Sukkot, these rickety booths, are a reminder of our ancestors' vulnerable years wandering in the desert. But that's really not all that they are. Our Sukkot are also a reminder of the mitzvah, the commandment incumbent upon us, the mitzvah of haknasat orchim, of hospitality to strangers. Now, our culture really trains us to repel the stranger. But the sukkah, in its very structure, invites us to embrace the stranger. The sukkah is erected in the open air. It's under the star-filled sky, not in an enclosed room or even safely hidden beneath a tree. The sukkah is unprotected. It is exposed to inclement weather. It's defenseless to raiding marauders, yet it stands bravely available to all passerbys who may need it. The sukkah is the desert equivalent of an urban bus stop on a rainy corner, open to any stranger who may need shelter, no matter what their story may be. Now, the least important aspect of our sukkot, these huts, are the walls. Architecturally speaking, that makes no sense. When you build a structure, you count on the walls to define your shelter, to surround the inhabitants protectively, reassuring them of their safety. But when it comes to our sukkot, 4 walls would be nice, but our tradition teaches that a sukkah is kosher even if it only has 2.5 walls. 2.5 walls. Imagine that. At that point, your sukkah is little more than a stage backdrop, right, Kaden? A life-size diorama into which you can place your picnic tables and plastic chairs from Home Depot. And that is the point. The sukkah is not a structure that is characterized by a bolted door that sends the message, go away. This home belongs only to those who live here. Instead, the sukkah is distinguished by its open invitation, its easy access. It welcomes all wanderers. Come, join us in this nomadic 2.5-walled home. But the critical element of the sukkah is the roof. It's covered in something, it's one of my favorite Hebrew words, you can say it out loud if you want to, it's called skach. Can you say that? Yeah, you gotta get like a good ch at the end of it, skach. I do think skach is gonna end up as one of the Wordle words one day, and only we will get it. So it's gonna be exciting. The skach is composed of branches and plants that are arranged loosely enough so that it provides shade in the heat of the day and also allows for us to see the stars, the heavens, through them. The walls of the sukkah may not be important, but the covering of the sukkah is key. With a roof over their heads, impermanent though it may be, all visitors are brought together under the earthly protection of the, good word, skach. The skach unifies all guests within the sukkah. No matter who they may be, they become this makeshift family under one makeshift roof. In fact, according to our ancestors, a sukkah is not complete until guests have been invited to find shelter within its temporary walls. We'll come back to this in a moment. There's this custom of inviting ushpizin, symbolic guests, each day to join us in the sukkah. Be thinking of who your ushpizin is. These imaginary guests are shepherds, wanderers, exiles, mystic wayfarers who are grateful for hospitality. And the ritual of inviting ushpizin was popularized by the Kabbalists of the 16th century in the hillside town of Tzfat in northern Israel. Those are the same ones who introduced us to the song Lecha Dodi, which we sang earlier in our service tonight. In the Sephardic tradition, an ornate chair is set aside for the ushpizin, and the visiting stranger is treated like royalty. There is belief that by welcoming the ushpizin, you are intensifying the presence of the divine within your sukkah. But according to our tradition, our imaginary ancestral guests are not enough. Like the Seder table, in which we invite all who are hungry to come and eat, we are supposed to invite flesh and blood guests into our sukkah, not just our spiritual forebears. Throughout the festival of Sukkot, we're commanded to act in very countercultural ways. Rather than suspecting the stranger who appears before us, we welcome them in for a warm meal under the starry sky. Rather than keeping ourselves protected behind steel doors, we discover the beauties of Lashev HaSukkah, creating this provisional home even when people are unknown to us. The Talmud teaches that if a person is of legal age to dwell in the sukkah when he awakens at night, that he is of legal age to dwell in the sukkah if he awakens at night and no longer calls for his mother. At that time, we are ready to leave the security of our childhood beds and enter into the fragile world of the sukkah, a world in which we trust the person next to us, even if they are unfamiliar to us, a world in which even the stranger becomes family. Really, Sukkot, not so much unlike Halloween, exemplifies the best of what religion can do for us. In our world where chaos seems to reign, where danger seems to reside around every corner, Sukkot gives us a sense of security without denying the sense of vulnerability that comes with living in this world. And with that sense of an ordered, intact world, we as humans begin to discover in the sukkah a place where we belong. And that's why on every Shabbat, no matter what time of year it may be, we ask God to hapores sukkot shlomecha aleinu, to spread out the sukkah of God's peace around us and around the entire world. My prayer for us tonight is that we carry with us, wherever we may find ourselves, the lessons of Sukkot. That even as we protect ourselves and our loved ones in our sometimes violent world, sometimes running shoe stealing communities, may we remember the time when our ancestors felt completely safe within these rickety walls and under the delicate roof of their sukkah. And may we remember the time when strangers were guests and guests were family. And even in this world wrought with danger, just maybe we can, through our outreach and open doors, bring near the day when the sukkah of God's peace is spread over us and all people, strangers and loved ones alike. So, I'm going to ask, and it can be one individual. Now, here's the nice thing about Ushpizin. It doesn't have to be someone real. It can be a real person who's no longer living. It can be a superhero who is maybe made up, but you'd love to have them be real and meet them. But who would you invite? Who is the Ushpizin, if you could pick one, that you would invite into your sukkah this year? Nanette, who would you invite? You would invite Moses? Okay, and we don't even know if Moses was real. Okay, I love it. Moses is your hero, and that's who you're bringing in. All right, we're going to make one big sukkah here with our favorite people. All right, we've got Moses is already there, so that's a high bar. Who else are we inviting into the sukkah? Anyone have someone? If you could invite anyone, one person you'd want to meet and have dinner with. Yeah, Martin. Aaron Judge. Who's Aaron Judge? Okay, well, baseball's not my sport. Aaron Judge is coming. We will seat him next to Moses. They will have lots to talk about. All right, Alexa, who are you inviting? RBG. I love that. The Judge thing. Got you thinking. All right, Ruth is coming. We love it. Yep, Drew? David. All right, we got Ruth, not the biblical Ruth, but we do have the biblical David, and we've got Moses. Good to know. Moses and David all have a lot to chat about. David's going to have to catch Moses up. All right. Who else? Anne? Bette Midler. It's getting spicy now. I like it. All right, we're going to bring in some more plastic chairs. Who else is coming into the sukkah? Who else do we want to invite? Well, not Everly. She cannot come. She's a book taker. I'm just kidding. You can come. All right. Who else is coming in the sukkah? We need a few more people to round out this dinner party. Who would you like to bring? Alexa, you're coming. Very sweet. Kate and your chopped liver. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. You can come too.
I'll invite
like
James
chopped
Taylor.
liver. Spoken like a true Jewish mom. Okay. Drew, you got another person? I mean, I think it would be interesting to meet Jesus, personally.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions and some things to clear up. So I say yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Is there anybody else we want to bring in? I think we're seating Bette Midler next to Jesus, don't you think? I feel like that'll be fun, just to kind of hear what that banter is all about. Yes, anyone else? Nope. You have someone? Who are we bringing? We need some good music. We have no music in our sukkah. Is there a performer we're bringing in? Leonard Cohen.
Yes.
Now Josh is coming.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, who do we want to bring? Who is it? Oh, Marvel character? Okay, now both of my boys will be there. It's very exciting. All right, awesome. Misty, who are we bringing? Who was that?
He invented the Les Paul guitar.
Ah, okay. All right, I'm showing my cultural lacking. Yep, who are you bringing, Susan? Oh, Michelangelo. We've got a painter.
Too bad he can't paint the roof of the
Sukkah.
No, yeah, we don't really.
Nothing
But
there.
the 2.5 walls.
Yeah.
But the 2.5 walls. Okay. Anyone else? This is a pretty nice dinner party. Interesting, to say the least. All right, wear your toga. Okay. Well, I think, Cantor, you have a song for us?
I think I'm going to invite James Taylor and David Bowie.
Okay.
Keep it interesting.
Awesome.
So we're on page 42. It's the third line from the top and the sixth line from the bottom is going to make up this prayer, which is Ufros Aleinu, spread over us a shelter of your peace. By the way, we have Lashev Basuka, but I think for all clergy and Jewish professionals, yesterday was Lashev Basofa.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Lasheba Sofa. It's another commandment.
No one gets it? Okay. Like the
I
sofa?
like it. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Let's try that together. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם.
Invite you to please rise for the words of Aleinu, and I'll invite anybody who'd like to come forward to help open the ark doors to come at this time. Anybody who wants to come up and see the Torahs, open the ark doors. We'll take any takers. All right, I got Kaden and Alexa coming. Any cousins want to come? Cousins, come in. We'll take all Karaba cousins.
Karaba Cousins, page 282.
Come on up, guys. Open the ark doors. You're going to grab right here on each side and just pull slowly, okay? You guys do that? Yep, good job. All right.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
All right, we'll remain standing as we honor those whose yortzites fall on this Shabbat. In our community here at Micah, we think of Aaron Shapiro, Alan G. Lasky, Arthur Robbins, Bernard Kaufman, Cecil Elmo Meredith, Diane Greenberg, Dorothy Lee Ocker, Dr. Lawrence Solomon, Eva Strauss-Fogel, Hannah Tarr, Jacob Weisbarth, Jerome Kimball, Mary Shapiro, Minda Sue Lazaroff, Miriam Claire Silver, Morris Bookstein, Philip Roseman, Pearl Kahn, Rebecca Beltzer. We continue mourning for William Bildrongowski, George Hahn, Jerry Eli, TJ Cohen, Arnold Hyatt, Stephen Allen Cooper, Norman Edward Heyman, Toby Lee Spiegel, Artis Felix, Kathleen Guccione, Kent Nolan, Laura Cass Hockman, Robert Charles Levine, Trevor Clark, Philip Ginsberg, Conrad Raymond Jacobs, Margaret Friedman Vaughn, Harvey Sevier, Steve Geringer, Bertram Chalfant Jr., Frank Parker, Martin Rabin, Roland Hill, Stanley Felix, Stephen Dubin, Lucille Foley, Evelyn Richmond, Walter Stern, Marvin Oakes, B.B. Weinstein, and Susan Ruckman. Please share the names of anyone I may not have mentioned for our mourners Kaddish. Thank you. We're on page 294. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirtei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'bizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may the memories of our loved ones be every day for us a blessing, and together we say, Amen. Amen. So a few announcements, you can be seated. Thank you to the Caraba family for sponsoring our wind down this evening. We so appreciate that. And Torah study will be on Zoom tomorrow morning, as it always is, at 9 a.m. And then we will have the B'nai Mitzvah service of Caden and Alexa at 10:30 here in the sanctuary. All are welcome. Please join us on Sunday at 9:30 for PJs, pancakes, and paper chains. We're going to get our sukkah decorated and ready for the week. We'll provide all the art supplies. All you need to do is come together in a good mood and ready to decorate. RSVPs can be on our website, but you can also just show up. Micah Reads, our book club, is this coming Monday at 7 p.m. It will be meeting in person in the sukkah, and we'll be discussing Goldie Goldblum's On Division. All are welcome. I always say you don't have to have even read the book to come and take part in the great conversation. I'm teaching a 7-part course on Intro to Judaism. Some of you have taken it before, called Rejuvenation. It starts Tuesday evening. It's on Zoom. There's no charge for members, and you can register on our website. We have a lot of people who are participating, so it should be a lively conversation each week. Again, it'll be 7 Tuesdays starting this coming Tuesday. Simchat Torah takes place on Wednesday the 19th at 5:15 in the social hall. And if you're interested in participating in the adult B'nai Mitzvah experience this year, the service will be in May. We'll start learning together in November. Please let me know. And yeah.
Did you mention Israel?
Oh, we're going to Israel.
Yeah.
It's a great place. So we're going to Israel in June. It is an intergenerational trip, meaning all ages. If you have students who are younger than middle school and you're thinking of bringing them on the trip, just talk to me in advance. Doesn't mean they can't come. Just want to let you know what's involved, and so you can decide if your kids are able to handle that trip. But it's going to be super fun. Cantor Josh is our main leader, our head honcho on that trip. And I can give you information, pricing and dates and itinerary and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
All right, let's have a closing song, shall we?
Let's do it. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו Amen. Yalalai. Yalalai lai lai. Yalalai lai lai lai. Yalalai lai 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 lai. Yalalai lai 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 lai. Yalalai lai lai. Yalalai lai lai lai. Yalalai lai 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 lai. Yalalai lai 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 lai. Oh, say shalom b'meromav. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru, amen. Yalla la 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 la, yalla la la la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la la la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Ve'imru, ve'imru, amen.
Shabbat.
All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. לחיים. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz te'avon. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.